Thank you, Mr. Arnold, for coming today. We did invite Marcola Lawler, the current council person for Precinct 4. However, she was unable to attend. However, she did ask that the statement be read. So she says, "Greetings, Albion community. Sorry, I am unable to attend the Recorders Forum, but if I may offer, there are previous recordings and interviews located online through the AAUW and Albion Design and Marketing sites. You can also view my interviews through the Marshall Chronicle and Advisory article. Again, I apologize and everyone stay healthy. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. Marcola Lawler, Councilwoman for Precinct 4." All right. Michelle and I will trade off questions, but you get to make an opening statement first, and then we'll launch into questions. Please begin.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm here to try to seal the deal here. We've done many interviews and we're wrapping things up here. But my name is Wayne Arnold and I'm running to represent the 4th Precinct in the upcoming election. I am a lifelong member of Albion and been married to my wife, Patricia, for 45 years. We have 2 daughters and 3 grandchildren. My education consists of my associate's degree from Kellogg Community College, my bachelor's from Miller College, Battle Creek. And I would like to say at each of those institutions, I made the dean's list every semester. So I been going at it.
So your first question comes from Denisha Brewer. She is in the 5th Precinct, but she really wanted to ask all the council persons this question. Our culture in this community has been combative for a number of years. How do you plan to develop a culture that fosters a sense of community and pride and unity?
Okay, thanks for that question. I think that going forward, we're going to have some tumultuous times going forward, and so I really truly believe that we have to be a little proactive. We know the type of environment that we're in, and we know the division within the city and the country and the world as far as that goes. But you know, I would advocate that as soon as a problem rears its ugly head, I think we should discuss it. I think we should get right up on it. We shouldn't let anything fester, because what that does, I think, is just continue the chaos and whatever. And I truly believe that we have to address these issues as they're presented within our community.
Great.
Thank you.
Wayne, speaking of addressing issues in the community, Linda Colmaden from the 3rd Precinct asks, how would you address the issue of systemic racism in our community?
Thank you for that one. You know, growing up in Albion and being here all of my life, I've seen Albion go from one extreme to the other. We have to acknowledge, we really do have to acknowledge the presence of systemic racism. Now, we know that it's a hindrance to society, it's a hindrance to our community. And so, and my thing is, it's been prevalent forever. But I think in this particular climate, at this particular time, I think something is going to be done this time. I think we need to respect each other's opinion. I think that everybody needs to have an opportunity to better their lives, to better their family structure, and I think that everybody should have a fair chance at the, as we call, American dream. Systemic racism has hindered people of color forever. And I think that a fair-minded person would agree with me that, you know, change is on the rise, and we need to do what we can within our community, this small little community. We could get things done that maybe a larger community couldn't get done. because we can just talk about it and say, hey, it's a done deal. We don't have to go through any red tape. We don't have to do anything like that. We're all kind of close knit. I would say Albion's always been a close knit family as far as I'm concerned, because of course we got our differences. We had our differences, and we're going to continue to have our differences. I just and ironic enough, I don't know how I get myself in these situations, but when I was running in 2016, at that particular time, maybe we could, but people, I couldn't fathom that I would be threatened. I'm running for office. I would be threatened. My life would be threatened. My whole culture would be threatened, by a person whose ideal is different from mine. He could have his ideals, but everybody doesn't have to agree with you on that. And so, that's something we're going to have to continue to deal with from here on. So,
Great.
Thank
Thank you.
William Britt, Steve Tompkins is in the first precinct.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Tompkins is in the first precinct. He wants to really enjoy buying his own food, but the grocery store or family fare is too expensive for him. And he's also worried about, will there be enough food during the winter, and with the food distribution. So what will you do to bring another less expensive grocery store to Albion? And if you don't think another grocery store needs to be brought here, then how will you address food security in the city? And you have 3 minutes.
well, first of all, with us having a tight knit community as we have, although I do understand that, believe it or not, we do have some families that's hungry, but as far as food distribution, I really believe, I think it'll be ample amount of food to go around. It may be a little more expensive, and I think that some stores or some companies is using the pandemic to raise prices, but I don't really think it's a shortage. I don't think it's a shortage of food no more than it was before the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we would have ample food, but addressing the stores. Me being around Albion majority of my life, it was a time where I know we had at least 3 different or 4 supermarkets. Now, mind you, I know that the population has decreased, substantially, but I do believe a Save-A-Lot or something like that we could benefit from a store like Save-A-Lot. Now, I'm not sure why the other one left, but I do know that myself and others go to Marshall to the Save-A-Lot, and believe it or not, even their prices has went up. So I think we could benefit from another supermarket. I think that we should have a choice. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Family Fare, they do the best they can to have certain type of ethnic foods and stuff like that. So they try to adjust to diversity in our city. But another supermarket, I think, would be healthy. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I would go with that. With it. I think we can have another supermarket, and I think it would work well for us.
Thank you. Michelle?
Great. William Britt, who's from the 2nd Precinct, when we talked to him, he was getting a little frustrated, as I think most Albion residents are, about the potholes in Albion.
Oh, wow.
And that's not just here. That's happening everywhere where infrastructure is failing. So he says he understands that some road repairs are underway in Albion, but when are we going to address the rest of the roads needing repair? Are you aware of any in your precinct that need to be addressed?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I really have a problem with that. We had that millage for 10 years, and every sidewalk that needed to be repaired was supposed to be repaired. But even in the fourth precinct, right in front of my house, actually, we got a curb that's damaged. That should have been repaired. We got a sidewalk where the kids in the neighborhood is taking their bikes and, just jump over the incline. So that's potentially hazardous. So, and then one of my priorities was to help develop a comprehensive plan to fix our streets. I don't know what the procedure is now, but it's my understanding that it's like every precinct has a turn, I guess. That's just, and when it's your turn to come up to get your streets fixed, then that's what's happening. What's happening? Excuse me. I shouldn't say. But yeah, that's one of my priorities, to come up with a comprehensive plan to get our streets fixed, because we definitely need it. We definitely need that. Though that's taken care of. But how we do it, I don't know if we'll do it through another millage. But at some point, we got to get more streets repaired. I think that we need more help from the state and federal government. I mean, you know how that goes as far as our national infrastructure. We don't have a plan for that. But I think we might have to do it through another millage. The one we passed now, is my understanding, is going to fix some streets over in the first precinct, which badly needs it. But I would think that I would consider coming up with a plan whereas we would take the worst streets and fix those first, and then work our way back. So that's when I say a comprehensive plan. I'm talking about a holistic plan that would get more streets done, rather than, okay, we'll get 2 streets done this year because we only have enough money to do 2 streets. But yeah, either through millage, we got to find a way to get more streets done.
Great. Thank you.
All right. So we have a question from Sharon Hostetler. She's from the 3rd Precinct. And she says, what things do you need to feel that need to be accomplished specifically in your precinct? And how would you build consensus? In other words, we all talk about consensus, but how would you actually build consensus among your fellow council people to get the things that need to be done in your precinct?
Thank you for that question. With me being retired, I got time to assess the community and our precinct. One of my main pet peeves was that I've been on Hall Street for 20 years. We have always been the last one to get our streets shoveled. Potholes, it seems like we're the last precinct to get our potholes filled. I think that moving forward, we should pay more attention to that. And I think that what I would do is I would be in more contact with the city officials. In other words, I'm saying, well, I could say, well, we got a pothole that need filled. And I don't think that we've been aggressive enough the past 4 years in getting these things done. I don't. And one other thing I noticed is that 4th Precinct, we have a lot of seniors, and sometimes, they don't want to get involved. One of my residents said, well, I wanted to say something about this sidewalk, but I didn't want to get involved. She said, I don't want to get involved. I'm not too political. And so that's why I know that I would be the person to be the voice for that lady, because she's not going to go, she don't feel comfortable bringing it in front of the city council. So I would be the one to bring it to council and get some resolution to that. I'm a hands-on type of guy. Call me, I'm going to be right on it.
How do you feel in talking with your other council members, though? How would you build an agreement between all of you? If you can answer that in the next 30 seconds or so, maybe a minute.
Well, I think that it's very important that we have good collaboration. So if we get the people in place that we need to have in place, I think we could have a consensus agreement on what needs to be done as far as moving the city forward. Now, I think that every precinct should bring information from their constituents and bring it to the table. And so I think we can have a collaborative discussion on those type of things. I think that we can get it done.
Great.
Thank you so much for your question. We appreciate your participation in today's event in our Recorder Candidate Forum. We also thank you for your time and just listening to us, because I know it can be a little bit long. And we encourage you, along with those who are viewing, to vote on November 3rd. For Michelle Mueller, I'm Sylvia Benavides for the Recorder.